We're talking about it nonstop now, but Donald Trump's health is clearly in decline. He is physically unwell. We have the clearest picture yet of the bruising on what are both of Donald Trump's hands, not covered by makeup today. And Donald Trump, as much as he tried hiding it, but failed. We got a picture of it. I'm going to show that to you in just a moment. But one thing he cannot hide, too, is his failing mind. He, in multiple occasions, he had multiple meetings in the Oval Office today, and it's obviously slipping. And as it's slipping, he's becoming more and more dangerous. Here is what Donald Trump said to the Prime Minister of Japan.
This is the right president. The whole issue of the women, comfort women, very specifically, we talked, and that was a very big problem for Korea, not for Japan. Japan wanted to go. They want to get on, but Korea was very stuck on that. You understand? So I don't know. Perhaps you'd like to answer. It's a good question.
Like, does anyone track that? The whole issue of the women, comfort women, very specifically, we talked about that, and that was a very big problem for Korea. This is something you're never going to see on corporate media. So please do hit like and subscribe, because we're going to show the stuff that they're unwilling, scared to show, or frankly want to make him look as competent as possible to appease him. We're not appeasing Trump, not on this channel. Now, Donald Trump also had this moment where he tried saying Gretchen Whitmer, but he said this instead.
That's how bad it is. Everybody standing there knows. We know. You don't have to be doing any studies. They should be saying, please come in. Pritzker should be saying that. You know, I did a favor for Kristi Whitman, Whitmer. A good favor, I think, with the fish, the carp.
So let's just go back on that. He's obviously realizing that he's not saying her name correctly. He says Kristi, and he realizes he's not saying Gretchen, so he tries to say it again, and then he says Kristi Whitman, and then he says Whitmer, realizing that he's not going to be able to say it correctly. There's obviously something going on here.
For Kristi Whitman, Whitmer, a good...
Now, others have noticed that there is a Christine Whitman, but not sure his mind knows that. Also, someone else said Kristi Whitman lives in the town next to Bedminster and has attended at least one of Trump's golf club events. So his mind is starting to fracture, and it's a very scary moment. Now, I'm also very, very worried about what's going on with his hands here. Now, we obviously know he's getting IV drips or something, but we don't know why. And we have to put pressure on this, because he is a public servant, and the public deserves to know the health condition of the person running the country. Just the same way if a CEO showed up like this, the board would be like, what the fuck? Like, what's going on with your hand? We deserve to know too. Now, what's actually abysmal is that the press, who are in the press pool in the Oval Office, did not ask about it. Not one question about what's going on with his hand. If you want the corporate media to start putting pressure on Trump and on a problem that we obviously know is happening, leave a like or leave a comment. And I just have to say, the hypocrisy around this, where Jake Tapper and every other reporter, not every other reporter, but so many outlets, would focus on every single one of Biden's verbal flubs, the way that he moved, the way that he talked, and fine. You know, he is the leader of the free world. He was getting older, and fine. But where is that same energy towards all of this? Where is that same energy? Because there's obviously a lot of questions. We're seeing a lot of evidence that's not being shown to people who watch corporate media. We're seeing it here, but they're not following the story the way that they should be. Certainly not the way that they followed it with Biden. And I don't frankly understand why. I don't understand why. Now, Donald Trump in that same Oval Office meeting said this. It's frankly alarming.
As you all know, Chicago's a killing field right now. And they don't acknowledge it. And they say, we don't need him. Freedom, freedom. He's a dictator. He's a dictator. A lot of people are saying maybe we like a dictator. I don't like a dictator. I'm not a dictator. I'm a man with great common sense and I'm a smart person.
So Donald Trump there is really just laying out the groundwork. This is something he does where he tries to normalize things by joking about them, by saying he's not something. But we know that Donald Trump, when he is saying something that he wants to do, he will say that he's not going to do the thing, and then he does it. So the fact that the president of the United States sitting in the Oval Office while the Department of Defense Secretary and the Vice President are sitting or standing behind him is just so casually saying, a lot of people are saying we need a dictator. Maybe they'd like a dictator, is not okay. And we can't normalize it. We can't allow this to be normal. I don't even know. I'm sorry to talk about the mainstream media so much, or corporate media, because I'm just really disturbed by what is happening living here in DC, seeing it all. I'm very disturbed by armed military on the streets. And then the mainstream media writes on it like Donald Trump's plan to fight crime in cities. You know, like there's such a disconnect between how unusual this is, how disturbing this is, how un-American it is, versus the way that the media is trying to rationalize it. And so I guess living in it and seeing the media doing what they can to normalize it has me pissed off, frankly, and a little scared. Because if they're going to do that, who's going to be the ones to actually speak up about it? And they're not even speaking up about the fact that he is losing his mind, too. Now, Donald Trump also said that he was going to reduce prices by 1,500%. And Robert Reich very smartly pointed out that reminder that Trump passed a budget that will kick 10 million people off of insurance and likely lead to the closure of hospitals across the country. Even if Trump were to lower the drug costs, he's actively making an already broken healthcare system even worse. Absolutely. Now, here's just more footage on this bruising. And again, we just need to know what is going on. We deserve to know what is going on. And Donald Trump saying that America wants a dictator is following on that guidance, because here he is saying he's going to release more federal troops into cities.
Are you prepared to order National Guard troops, though, into American cities if those governors don't request the federal deployment?
I am, but I also think that, look, Chicago, everybody knows how bad it is.
I mean, it is bad, but the solution is not military in the streets. That is the solution. And I'm sorry if you're in Chicago or you're in DC or whatever. Like, crime is bad. It is bad. It's not as bad as he's saying, but it's bad. In New York, you have to lock up all of in the drugstores. Everything's behind a lock because there's so much shoplifting. Now, does that mean that the solution to that is military in the streets? No, of course not. But the solution also isn't saying there isn't a problem, because there is a problem. But we actually have to have common sense solutions. And this is not a common sense solution. This is also an absurd extreme solution. If one absurd extreme solution is saying there's no crime happening, and another extreme solution is saying that there's so much crime happening we have to send in the military, I think we can find a place in the middle to handle this rationally. That's just my thought. And Donald Trump said that he's going to send the DOJ out to get California's redistricting effort, and Ron Filipkowski very smartly said the DOJ is a law firm for the Republican Party. So there we go. Another day of insanity. Grandpa is slowly losing it, but he's not giving up control of the car, is he? No, he's prepared to take us all down with him. Well, I'll be here with you as we follow this mess. I hope you'll hit like, I hope you'll subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.